Okay, let's have this one. Okay, can you see my screen?
I can see, teacher.
All right. So where we stopped? Where do we stop? Okay, we stop in lesson 12. Success. Soccer is more exciting. Okay, this part right here, Lynn. Okay, can you read this? I want you to read this part asking for comparisons
Yeah, which is more interesting
to
to
watch.
watch, to play, to learn?
Mhm. Which is easier to watch,
Which
to play,
which
to learn?
is easier to watch, to play, to learn?
Mhm.
Which
Whi-
is more difficult to watch, to play, to learn?
mhm.
Which do you like more to watch, to play, to learn?
Okay, all right, this one. How about making comparisons? Let's read.
Golf, yeah, making comparison. Golf is not as interesting to watch as tennis.
Mhm.
Volleyball is uh,
Is easier.
easier to play than hockey.
Mhm. Boxing.
Boxing is much more difficult to learn than bowling.
Mhm.
I like soccer more than tennis.
Yeah, I like soccer more than tennis. So, if we're going to compare, if we're going to ask to compare things, especially sports or fitness activity, we could say which is more interesting to watch, okay? Which is easier to play, which is more difficult to learn, okay? And how about if we compare them? We could say golf is not as interesting to watch as tennis. Okay, let's have a practice, okay? So I'm gonna ask you, Lynn. Okay, Lynn, which is more interesting to watch? Uh, Boxing or swimming?
Swimming teacher.
Okay, you could say swimming. Swimming is swimming. Okay. You could say boxing is not as interesting to watch as swimming. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So can you read this sentence for me? So, okay, Lynn, which is more interesting to watch, boxing or swimming? Boxing. You could say it like this.
Boxing is not as interesting to watch as swimming.
Okay, yeah, that's good. How about this one? Okay, Lynn, which is easier to play, boxing or swimming?
Boxing is not as interesting to watching as swimming.
Okay, you could say swimming. Which is easier to play? Which is easier to play, boxing or swimming?
Swimming teacher.
Okay, so you could say swimming. Swimming is easier to play than boxing. So, how do you say so? Why do you say that swimming is easier than boxing? Have you tried boxing before?
Swimming uh, easier to play than boxing.
Okay, yeah, that's this. So, why do you say so? Why do you say that swimming is easier than boxing? Have you tried boxing?
Uh, Sometimes I try boxing teacher and last year I enjoy boxing class teacher. I think yeah, I think very
And
good.
how about